Responding non-defensively. How can you respond non-defensively when others send aggressive messages? We are all human, and despite your best intentions, it's difficult to be reasonable when you are being attacked. Being attacked is hard enough when the criticism is clearly unfair, but it's even harder when the criticism is right. Despite the accuracy of the critic, we either respond to counteract aggressively or withdraw non-assertively. Since neither of these counteracts is likely to resolve the dispute, there needs to be alternative ways of behaving. There are two ways of behaving: seek more information and agree with the critic. We will be covering seek more information. Seek more information. Some attacks on the first consideration appear to be unjustified or silly, often prove to contain at least a little truth and sometimes much more. Here are some different ways you can seek additional information from your critics. Ask for specifics, guess about specifics, paraphrase the speaker's ideas, ask what the critic wants, ask about the consequences, ask what else is wrong. Ask for specifics. Some attacks that may sound familiar are "you're being unfair" or "you never help out," which may be difficult to understand. You would have to ask them for more specific information, like "what do I do that's unfair?" If you have already asked for more specifics and are still accused of acting defensively, the problem may be in the way you asked it, such as your tone of voice, facial expression, or posture. It's important to request specific information only when you genuinely want to learn more from the speaker. Asking under any other circumstance would make matters worse. An example of this could be a doctor telling a nurse that she was slow that day on the job. In the nurse's defense, she would respond by saying, "What did I do that was so slow?" which would be asking for the specifics. Guess about the specifics. Sometimes your sincere and well-phrased request for specific information won't work. Sometimes the critics won't be able to define the behavior they find offensive. You may hear comments like this in the medical field: "I can't tell you exactly what's wrong with your filing for the patients. All I can say is I don't like it." Failing to learn the specifics of another's criticism when you genuinely want to know can be frustrating.
Paraphrase the speaker's ideas. Another strategy is to draw out confused or reluctant speakers by paraphrasing their thoughts and feelings and using the active listening skills we've learned in Chapter 7. Paraphrasing is especially good in helping others solve their problems. And since people generally criticize you because your behavior creates some problem for them, this method is especially appropriate at such times. One advantage of paraphrasing is that you don't have to guess about the specifics of your behavior that might be offensive. By clarifying or amplifying what you understand critics to be saying, you learn more about their objections. Even apparently outlandish criticism often contains at least a grain of truth, and thus, a person who is genuinely interested in improving would be wise to hear it out. Ask what the critic wants. Sometimes critics' demands will be obvious, for example, turn down the music, or would you clean up your dirty dishes now? In other cases, however, you will need to do some investigating to find out what the critic really wants from you. For example, Erica says, "You're so critical, it sounds like you don't like anything about this paper." Maria in reply, "But you asked for my opinion. What do you expect me to do when you ask?" Erica says, "I want to know what's wrong, but I don't just want to hear criticism. If you think there's anything good about my paper, I wish you would tell me that too." This example illustrates the importance of accompanying your questions with the right nonverbal behavior. It's easy to imagine two ways Maria could express, "What do you expect me to do when you ask?" One would show a genuine desire to clarify what Erica wanted, while the other would have been clearly hostile and defensive. As with all the styles in this section, your responses to criticism have to be sincere to work.
People might get unhappy and complain about the actions of yours only if their need is not being met. These actions of yours would seem normal for you and you will not find anything wrong with them, but it would cause problem for others. In this case, the best thing to do is to find the problems they have to face due to actions of yours. For example, your colleague is not happy about you not coming to work on time because when the boss asks about you, he or she has to lie, so you will not get in trouble. Your colleague feels guilty of lying because he or she does not like to lie. You might want to ask about more things that has problems for them because this may uncover the deeper issue a person has with you. For example, your colleague may also have other problems working along with you which leads them to complain about you not coming to work on time. Maybe he or she starts to dislike your behavior or attitude and does not want to help you anymore. Asking for more information about your actions that annoy them may also deepen the issue and worsen the relationship between you and others around you.